Hi, today we are going to learn about when we multiply by 0 and 1. We are going to write sentences that describe some pictures. Let's begin with our discovery picture. How many jam tarts does each child have? Write a multiplication calculation to represent each one. Let's begin with Jamila. We can see that she has 2 plates. Each plate has 5 jam tarts on it. There are 10 jam tarts altogether. Let's focus on how we write that as a multiplication statement. So 5 times 2 equals 10, or indeed 2 times 5 equals 10. We can multiply the numbers in either order. Now let's move on to Mo. What sentences can we say about that picture? We can say he has 5 plates. Each plate has 1 jam tart on it, so there are 5 jam tarts altogether. Let's have a think about how we would write that as a multiplication equation. Again, notice the idea of commutativity in multiplication. We can write 5 times 1 equals 5, or 1 times 5 equals 5. The equations are the same. And finally, there's Emma. Have a think, what sentences would you say to describe the picture? Emma has 3 plates. Each plate has 0 jam tarts on it. So altogether, there are 0 jam tarts. We write the multiplication sentences like this. 3 times 0 equals 0, or 0 times 3 equals 0. Let us take a minute to look back at the Discover picture. Did you spot the mistakes? Okay, pause the video now and have a think. What would the sentences be to describe the image in A and B? And what would the multiplication equations be? Let's focus on A first. There are 5 baskets. Each basket has 1 apple in it. There are 5 apples altogether. And the multiplication equations are 5 times 1 equals 5, or 1 times 5 equals 5. Multiplication, remember, is commutative. The numbers can be multiplied in either order. Here are the sentences and multiplication equations that match image B. There are 5 baskets. Each basket has 0 apples in it. There are 0 apples altogether. So 5 times 0 equals 0. 0 times 5 equals 0. What do you notice when we multiply by 1? What do you notice when we multiply by 0? Mo is investigating what happens when you multiply by 1. Help Mo to work out the missing numbers. So pause the video a moment and try and fill in the missing numbers. So 5 times 1 is 5. 6 times 1, 6. 10 times 1. I'm sure you have noticed the pattern, but in maths we have to be very precise with our language. So when we talk about multiplication, we can use this language. A factor multiplied by a factor equals a product. Let's look at an example. 4 times 2 equals 8. 4 and 2 are factors. 8 is the product. Let's look for a pattern to help Mo by using our times tables. So here we've got the 2 times table, 4 times table, 8 times table. 2 times 1 is 2. 4 times 1 is 4. 8 multiplied by 1 is 8. So let's have a look and see what's the same and what's different. In each one of the factors is 1. Similarly, in each example, one of the factors is not 1. And for each example of the times table here, the product is the same as one of the factors. So now what's different between each one of these timetables facts? Well, what's different is the factor that is not 1, and also the products are different. From this investigation, we can describe the pattern of multiplying by 1 as when one of the factors is 1, the product is equal to the other factor. And that's true for all cases of multiplying by 1. Emma is investigating what happens when you multiply by 0. Pause the video now and help Emma work out the missing numbers. Have you seen what the pattern is? Can you describe the pattern using words factor and product? Well, let's look for a pattern using our timetables again. So you can see 2 times 0 equals 0, 4 times 0 equals 0, and 8 times 0 equals 0. What's the same and what's different about each fact? Well, those things that are the same about each of the times tables facts here are one of the factors is 0 in each of them. One of the factors is not 0 for each times table fact. And the product is 0. Let's look and see what's different about them. Well, for each one of the times table facts here, one factor is not 0. This leads us to make a generalization. And we can say, when one of the factors is 0, the product is 0. And this is true for every multiplication equation. When one of the factors is 0, the product is 0. Today's learning objective was to feel more confident when multiplying by 0 and 1. I hope now that you can complete your calculations with more confidence, and that you can begin to describe and to understand what's actually happening when you're multiplying by 0 and 1. I think it's time to give your own independent task a go. Again, as per normal, if you have any questions or queries, ask for help at home or put a question up on the stream. Bye!